does one person's opinion have the power to ruin your entire day? Why do you replay conversations wondering if you said the wrong thing? Why do you apologize even when you've done nothing wrong? Why is it so hard to say no without feeling guilty? If someone is disappointed with you, why does it feel like you failed? Maybe you've told yourself, I'm just a nice person. I'm just sensitive. I don't like conflict. But what if your constant need to be liked has nothing to do with kindness and everything to do with survival? I'm Virginia Dale Manning. I help strong but silently struggling Christian women heal emotional wounds through faith, psychology, and practical restoration so they can move from silently surviving to faithfully flourishing. If you're new here, start with Healing Pathway number 1 after today's episode, because every video answers one emotional question and each one builds on the last. You don't want to miss it. But today, we're answering one of the biggest questions I hear as a therapist. Why do I need everyone to like me? Stay with me, okay? Because before today's episode is over, you are going to understand that people pleasing isn't your personality. It's often protection. I want you to picture a little girl like Gingerbread in my book Set Apart. She's sitting quietly. She notices her mother's mood before anyone else. She watches her father's face. She learns which words keep the peace. She learns which behaviors make adults smile. She becomes the good child, the responsible one. She is the helper, the peacemaker. She quickly discovers something. You know the one. So when people are happy with her, life feels safer. When people are disappointed, life feels uncertain. So she makes a decision without ever realizing she's making it. I'll become whoever people need me to be. So years pass. She's now an adult. She excels at work. She's dependable. Everyone describes her as kind. She's the one people call. She's the one who says yes, the one who carries everyone else's burden. But privately, she's exhausted, resentful, invisible. She doesn't even know what she wants anymore because somewhere along the way, she became so focused on keeping everyone else happy, she lost herself. So maybe that woman is you. Maybe you are like Gingerbread. Here's what I want you to hear today. Listen up. People pleasing is rarely about being nice. It's usually about feeling safe. Think about that. Your brain, it learned something years ago. If people approve of me, I'm safe. If they are upset, I'm in danger. And that doesn't mean physical danger. Sometimes it's emotional danger and damage, rejection, criticism, shame, abandonment, disconnection. Your nervous system begins associating approval with survival. That's why one disappointed face can trigger so much anxiety. You're not simply reacting to today. You're reacting to years of emotional learning. And until you understand that, you will continue trying to earn something God has already given you, acceptance. So today's question is, why do I need everyone to like me? The hidden wound, it is conditional love, criticism, emotional neglect, rejection, feeling unseen, growing up walking on eggshells. Then there's the survival strategy. You become whoever people need. You don't disappoint anyone. You avoid conflict. You stay agreeable. But what is the cost? You lose your identity. You exhaust yourself. You resent others dearly. You become disconnected from your own needs. Here's the science about your nervous system that associates approval with emotional safety. The spiritual impact you begin seeking from people, what only God can fully provide. God's healing process, you're learning that your worth was never based on performance. So, what is the way to restore? It's you set boundaries. You want to renew your identity, create truth, have courage, and develop freedom. Approval is not the same as love. So let's separate those two things that often get confused. Approval and love. Many of us grew up believing if people approve of me, they'll love me. So, we worked harder. We became more successful, more helpful, more available, more agreeable, more accommodating, more exhausted, more. Can I ask you something? How many versions of yourself have you created just trying to be accepted? Have one version for work, one for church, one for family, one for friendships, one for relationships, one for social media, and somewhere the real you has disappeared. That's what people pleasing does for you. Disappear. It slowly convinces you that your authentic self isn't enough. But here's the real truth. God never asked you to become everyone else's version of you. He created one you, not 10. And I want you to pause and think about that, because I need you to hear this. If someone only loves the version of you that never says no, they don't actually know you. They know your performance. And performance can never produce your peace. There's fear beneath people pleasing. People often think people pleasing is about kindness and being nice. But as a therapist, I've learned it's usually about fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of disappointing people, fear of being misunderstood, fear of abandonment, fear of being alone. Fear whispers, if they don't like you, you'll lose connection. Sounds like you, right? So you say yes, even when your body is screaming no. You overextend yourself. You stay silent. You smile. You apologize. You suppress your own needs. Not because you don't have them, because you've learned other people's comfort feels more important than your own. Can I tell you what breaks my heart? Many women don't know who they are anymore because they've spent decades becoming who everyone else wanted them to be. But here's the good news. You do not have to earn the love God has already declared over your life. In part 2, we're going to talk about how to break free from people pleasing without becoming hard, selfish, or disconnected. We'll explore what Scripture teaches about identity, boundaries, and most important, courage. And I'll give you practical steps to help you stop performing for approval and start living for acceptance. So be sure to tune in to part 2, and I'll see you in continuing this series.